We're going to dive right into Virtual's protocol today, how to navigate this platform and how to get the most possible multiples and also how to protect yourself the most. And there's a reason why I haven't actually spoken about Virtual's protocol in the past, and you'll understand in a moment. So guys, of course, as usual, subscribe to the channel, like the video very early, and share it with a friend right now because you know I'm going to be dropping something. You know there's going to be valuable information. Check out the last couple of videos as well. But as you guys know, this content is for you. So let's dive into Virtual's protocol. And I'm going to show you exactly what this is about. And I'm going to explain to you exactly, like I said, why I haven't spoken about this yet. As a matter of fact, let's go right to the chart and I will show you why I haven't spoken about this. If you're in the community, of course, if you're right in the Discord, then you guys know about Virtual's protocol. The Discord's right there. Dive in. And of course, as usual, get verified. But let's go back to the chart because this is essentially why I haven't spoken about this on the channel yet, because the price was so high and a lot of us missed entry super early, especially around the time when it was at the launch pad phase. So if you didn't get in the launch pad phase, then to be honest, right now is probably better than almost ever because a lot of us have been buying all on the way up and on the way down. Right now, it's as you see the price right here. You guys could check it for yourselves. Let's look at Virtual, as a matter of fact, and look at this platform. What exactly is Virtual, okay? So Virtual's protocol is essentially a platform where you can, as it says, create and own AI agents. Okay, so what this means is a lot of us are perhaps a little maybe scared, timid, and unsure of how this future is going to go with autonomous infrastructure, okay, for the internet. Well, in simple terms, we are going to be able to use automation to make a lot of our lives easier, to remove a lot of the hassle, and essentially to allow us to kind of live, I would imagine, if you use it wisely, to live a better life, to get more information quicker, to do research faster, to iterate more quickly, to get ideas, to communicate, to get things done on your behalf. So simple procedures, maybe even more complex functions that you may have to do on your own, let's say such as banking, maybe replying to certain emails, just things like that. A lot of this is going to be updated, is going to be automated. And, whether it be payroll, so many things, guys, people will absolutely lose their jobs. There's no question about it. But at the same time, you can become a master of the AI or you can be run by the AI. And I think it's wise to become a master in the sense that you got to understand how to use it. Find a way to integrate this into your daily lifestyle. There's so many things. So what I'm showing you right now is just kind of the idea of what these AI agents are about. Virtual's protocol is a base. Actually, it was specifically based, the layer 2 of Ethereum launchpad for you to create your own AI agents. But it is now, of course, going to be multi-chain on Solana as well. And who knows, it could be Base, Solana, and XRP in the future. I don't know. But whatever ecosystem is seeing a lot of liquidity and wherever new users are coming, I would assume at some point in time, something like Virtuals would be heading in that direction, trying to satisfy or target those audiences. So I would suggest definitely heading over, of course, to Virtuals and seeing what this is about. So if you first come here, you'll notice that there's the tab called Sentient and Prototype. So from this part of the video, I want to let you know, I'm going to explain to you why we're going to focus on Prototype more than Sentient, which is totally fine. So a lot of channels are speaking about sentient agents and explaining to you how you can find them and look for the low market cap and that. If you guys watch my previous videos, you'll definitely know my thoughts about market cap as it relates to multiples and price action and upside potential and downside potential. And you will understand that my focus is more on the liquidity levels, the availability of the asset on any particular exchange. I definitely get into that in at least one of these two videos, okay? The reason why the Sentient Agent tab is so easy to find projects is because they have already ascended in the bonding curve. And we're going to dive into the bonding curve idea as well. What that means is, as a matter of fact, let me go to prototypes so you can get a better idea of what this bonding curve is, okay? So I'm just clicking, guys. This is random. This is just a random one. But you'll see that in order for something to become sentient, in order for one of these agents to become sentient, then they have to pass this bonding curve. So people can buy or sell at any time, right? As you see, connect your wallet, buy and sell. And this needs an additional this amount of virtual token to actually reach the sentient level. Until it reaches this level, the liquidity for this is going to be locked in this protocol. Okay, let's focus on sentient agents first, and I assure you we'll get to the prototypes in a quick moment. These are all tokens that have officially completed the bonding curve phase that is in the prototype phase. That simply means there's a certain amount of virtual tokens that have to be invested in this project in order for it to actually finalize and for the liquidity to migrate to Uniswap. Essentially, this is almost like a test phase prototype, how much interest is there. Once it reaches the peak, and I'll show you guys an example right here, once it reaches the amount of virtual that is needed to actually complete the bonding curve, as you see 98% completed, it still requires this amount of virtual to actually ascend. Once you get to the level of ascension, then now we're able to be traded in different ways, okay? And the liquidity will be migrated. But I want to focus on Sentient just for a quick moment to explain to you the benefits of this. And that is that some of them have actually sold off quite a bit. You can see the 24-hour change. You can see the numbers right there. The market's down today pretty significantly for altcoins, which is totally fine. But these tokens are all offering different functionality. So Game, that's one of the Virtuals protocol's main agents. AI XBT, a lot of us have seen it. It's giving alpha, giving feedback. Some of it's kind of crude and everything. Luna is a performer. Vader is like an investment DAO. There are so many that are really cool. And the good thing about this is that all of these have already ascended. So there's kind of like an assurance there that it's been back to the point that it is now ascended, and people have proven with their virtual tokens that this is worthy of your attention. So you can in a sense say that these projects that have already reached the sentient level are essentially vetted in some degree. People have done the research. They already have their Telegram groups, maybe Discord servers, maybe websites, X accounts. They're probably also offering features, offering functionality, tools, resources for the community to use. And in some cases, in the case of, let's say, Vader, or perhaps in the case of Sekoia and so many others, you may actually have to hold the token in order to utilize this AI agent. So maybe the agent can help you to create images. Perhaps the agent can help you to assess if a smart contract is risky. Perhaps some of the agents can help you provide alpha or give you some type of feedback on whatever's happening in the market, some type of market analysis. And there's so much more. As you see, there's so many. Some of them are for silly things. Some of them are for like memeing and for jokes. Some of them are for music-based things. Some of them could even be based on religion. And some of them are social media platforms. Guys, there's so many ways these are used. I love to see the sentient agents. I'm all for it. However, if you want to dive in deeper and get in at the ground level before these things ascend, you have to go to the prototype page. And this is actually, truthfully, guys, where it gets really tricky. And I'm going to let you know, this is not for everybody. And I don't recommend this for everybody. As a matter of fact, I don't recommend any of this at all. If you go to the prototype page, this is everything that hasn't ascended, which means there's a greater chance of seeing higher multiples. There's also a greater risk of downside, and I'll show you why. So you'll notice that some of them, they're listed here. They have the market capitalizations right there, right? If I were to click this, and you'll see it's in ascending. So the lower market caps are like 7,000. These oftentimes could be scams, especially if they've been around for 10, 15, or 20 days, in this case a week, and it's still at 7,000. There's probably a reason why nobody's buying it. It's been around for 7 days. A lot of these can bond, which we call, they meet the bonding curve. They complete the bonding curve within a day, within 5 hours, or even less, if they're really good. So if somebody launches with a website and the tool and everything's ready, these agents could bond in an hour, even in minutes, especially if they've got partnerships and they're ready and they say, hey, we've got some investors, we're going to launch next week, and somebody decides to actually put money on it right away. These things could bond in minutes. Okay, so this is one of the riskiest plays, but I'm going to show you exactly how to dive in and what tools you need to actually decipher what is good from what may just simply be a waste of time. So I've got an example here of a token that we're going to use. We'll get into the game framework as well. Let me go back here super quickly. You'll see there's game. We'll get into game a little bit later. As a matter of fact, guys, if you want me to dive into game, it's going to have to be in a separate video, and let's dive in a little bit deeper. So I'm going to use this as an example simply because I know the creator and I know that he is a builder. He's actually constantly building for his community. So I'm going to use this as an example. You do not have to buy it. I'm not making this as a financial suggestion or recommendation. I'm just giving this as an example because I could have chosen any random one, some random person I don't know, but I know this builder is actually doing stuff every day, virtually every single day with the community, and very transparent. So why not use this as an example? So what you want to look for here is I'm going to look for when this thing launched, and then I'm going to look for the amount of holders that have it. I'll do a little bit of maths in my head to determine what the average holder count is. Now I want to show you, of course, you want to dive in here and read the biography. Sometimes there's nothing there. That's a red flag, but maybe not. It just depends. Sometimes there's a silent launch. They don't want to hype it up too much. But I would read this, skim it, paste it into your AI, and get a summary if you want to act really quickly. And you want to see what this thing's capabilities are. This is what it wants to do. There's so many things that you can allow your agent to do. So see if there's anything here that interests you. Right? These agents can be simple, they can be complex. Another thing you want to do is check out the holders. And sometimes this information, guys, is not accurate. Sometimes it will say 0 here, but there are actually many other holders. How can you determine, though, if this number says 0, or even if it is accurate? How do you know? Look at this wallet's got 23%. This wallet has 5%, 3%. That's a lot of percentage. The developer has 3%. How do you know? All right. Well, what you can do is you can copy the contract address right here. This is for the base CHESH token. Okay, this Cheshire cat, and you can copy that. Of course, you can always check the X and the Telegram page, all of it. So what you want to do is you want to click this to copy the contract address. You got that copied, and then you want to head over to base scan and you want to search that contract address. Now right here, you look for the token tracker right here, and boom, you're going to get a lot of information about this token. You'll see the accurate holder count. As I said, it's not accurate over here, right? It says this number here, but in fact, the block explorer shows that there are actually more holders. So there's actually better distribution than what this shows here. The 23% is actually still locked in within the bonding curve. Okay, let's continue on. And by the way, as this number increases, each token becomes more expensive. So if you get into something in the bonding curve, and let's just say I'm going to click on a different token that has a lower market cap. Let's do this just to show you. This is actually just an example. This could be a scam, and I hope I don't show you guys any scams, but this is just an example. Okay. If you look at the price here, for example, well, this went straight down. This is a great example, guys. The price went right up and it shot right down. Look at the holder count, 0%. It still needs exactly 42,420 virtual to bond. So this thing is at the basic ground zero. This is an example of when you would buy something at the exact lowest price. I wouldn't recommend buying this. I'm not recommending buying anything. I'm just giving you the example. If you buy it now, it's at the absolute lowest price. As this price increases, so as it gets up to the 90s or 80s or 50%, each token becomes more and more expensive. Okay, that's the bonding curve method. And as it increases in value, let's just say, for example, I bought this at 75%. If I sold at 87%, I would be in profit. A small amount of profit, but I would be in profit. If I bought it today and the price went down to, and the bonding ascension progress went down to 80% from where it is now, then I decided to sell, I would have lost some of my virtual. So I need to make it clear, everything you're buying on the virtual protocol platform is going to be based in virtual. So everything is paired in virtual. So it's going to be virtual / Amora, virtual / show, virtual / brick, virtual / CHESH. Okay, and vice versa, right? When you're buying or selling. So let's go back over here. When you're actually on Basecamp and you've got the contract address that you copied directly from the page, make sure you copy it from the page, because there could be scams. If I went here and I just double checked, there may be other people that have the exact token right there, as you see. There's another version of this token. Which one looks real to you? This one has $129,000 in it. This one has $7,000. This one has no social media links. As you can see, this one has social media links. It's likely the main one. I'll give you another example, okay? There are many examples of this. Look how many of these there are. There are many, many of the exact same thing, maybe different logos here, but still, this one's got $246,000 in it, and the other ones have around $7,000. Which one is the real one? It's up to you to decipher that, okay? That's super important. Let's go back here, okay? So you want to look at the holder count. You can, of course, view all the transactions. That's great. But what you want to do is you want to look at the holder count to see if this thing makes sense to you. So as you see within the contract, that's the bonding curve right here. If you want to buy it here, there's still 23% in that contract. So this can't necessarily be sold. This has to be bought by people. But the next wallet, as you see, it's not a contract, is actually, they've got 5%. So that means they likely bought in super early, but that also means that they can sell quite a bit anytime. If it bonds, this thing could go straight down, but we'll see. Who really knows, right? This one's got 3.5%, roughly almost 4%, 3.3. And as you see right here, based CHESH.base.eth. That is the creator wallet. How do I know that? Well, you could look at the amount, 27,000 right there, 27,190,665. Okay, 27 million. Let's go back here and we can look at the developer's wallet if we want. We can click view the profile, or we can actually click this and I'll just do that. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring us directly to that wallet, and it's going to bring us to base scan, and we can see the holdings of this particular wallet. Let's go back because that's not exactly what I want to show you. I want to show you the profile. So for the creator of this wallet, the developer wallet, we can actually look at the profile to see what tokens they hold. That's another way you can find things that could be valuable, but you can also use this to your benefit to confirm. And as you see right there, the developer wallet has 27,190,665. And that is the exact number that is shown here. So this is the developer's wallet. So there are people that have more than the actual developer, right? So that's one thing. That's totally fine. But over time, as this thing continues to ascend, this particular token continues to ascend, you know, this price could go down, the percentage could go down to 50, and the numbers could increase. As you see, the numbers need to increase because it's not accurate here. This is how you find assets on Virtual's protocol and pretty much any of these pump fund style platforms where they're essentially fair mint tokens, fair mint platforms where you can launch a token, you can buy into stuff before it hits any type of major exchange, before it's on Uniswap, before, right? So for example, when the liquidity of this is migrated, when this hits 100%, then this can be tradable on Uniswap, okay? The liquidity will migrate. A lot of these launch pads are just like that. The liquidity will migrate to some other major DEX, decentralized exchange on that blockchain. And in this case, because it is base, it would migrate to Uniswap. And in other cases, it might be Radium for Solana, and it might be some other decentralized exchange for another blockchain ecosystem. So that is one of the most critical things to say, guys, is to understand how do you get into these bonding curves, into these AI assets, these tokens before the masses, okay? If you guys want to see any more of this type of content, if you guys actually want to know what my picks are, because I've got a lot of picks here, both in the prototype phase, there are a few that I could call out, and I'm not going to do it in this video because I want to let you guys let me know what you want. But there are probably 5 or 6 right now in this Sentient part, the prototype area, pardon me, that have not bonded, that have, to my view, incredible upside because the projects, the leaders, the developers are actually building. I just gave you one example, okay? I have probably another 5 or 6 or even more ideas of projects that have not bonded yet, which means they haven't reached any type of major adoption or any type of attention just yet. So that's how you get the highest amount of multiples on this platform. The other way is to go to the Sentient agents and find ones that actually have value. Go from the top, check the ones that are the biggest to the smallest. You can check them in descending order, ascending order, but you can, and check the mind share. That's another great option as well. See how much attention they're commanding. As you see, 9% is being commanded by AIXBT. Does this thing have more upside? Honestly, we don't know, but there are other smaller ones that absolutely don't have that kind of level of mind share, but they are actually offering something so useful to people, and people are still diving into them. And maybe they're even down 20, 30%, 15%, 50, or even 60% from the top. So these ones, yes, even though they're sentient, they have bonded, there still could be some tremendous upside. And the fact that they've bonded likely indicates that they have a website, they have a working tool, they have a good social media presence, and they have backings by different investors and, of course, the community. So, guys, if you actually like what I just shared with you and you want to get deeper, you want my picks on prototype agents, I've got a handful. First things first, you probably just jump into the Discord right here And as I always say, please verify, because a lot of people join the Discord, they're not familiar with it and they don't verify. So I'm telling you right now, verify. If you have any questions, just hit me up right here. You can always leave a comment on a video, any of these videos, especially this one. Definitely subscribe to the channel, guys. I want to share more of the Virtuals Protocol stuff with you guys, like I said, because the price is looking so sweet. I can't even deny this. This price is looking so good. And the fact is that this platform, this Virtuals Protocol platform with these AI agents are going to be linking so closely with gaming, video games, non-player characters, non-playable characters, and so much more in the near future. Again, like I said, guys, follow me over here, and why not, let your voices be heard. Join the Discord, get verified. And I always say this, guys, let's win together. Let's dive into what that means over time. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Take it easy.